Hey guys, welcome to Tembenditse.
What's up?
So today's video is going to be a bit different. It's more of an educational, raising awareness, helping video. So we found out through one of Temba's former classmates that there's a baby called Unami who is battling a rare, very rare congenital condition. Yeah, called an omphalocele. So basically this video will give you guys more information and we'll explain it further.
Yeah, so it touched our hearts, and what we are trying to do is basically just tell as much people as possible about it so they can see how they can help. And we spoke to Unami's mom, Lotando, and
she's so strong, right?
Yeah, like
she's so strong.
We were speaking to her, and man, God only tests the brave and the strong, eh?
Yeah, it's very moving. We have a baby, but like just talking to her, everything about me, everything that I've been through, I forget myself, and it's just about her.
Yeah,
because
I'm very small.
I'm very honored, like to be part of her journey.
So yeah, we're gonna trust you guys with it as we were trusted with it, and you guys can also search your hearts and see where you can help or assist or how it makes you feel. And that's also like just by telling someone and just spreading the word as much as we can, so that the opportunities of people that can be of assistance can just increase in that way.
So basically she needs an operation that they haven't really set a date for the operation because of a previous operation that needs to, not really an operation, but a procedure that needs to be resolved first before she gets this operation. And it's gonna need a lot of money, but I guess she'll explain in the video.
Exactly.
So you guys will get further information, and if you have any questions, feel free to DM us or ask us in the comments.
Alright.
So we're sitting here with Unami's mom, Lotando.
Yeah. And we're just gonna basically talk about exactly what Unami is going through and what she's going through, to kind of explain the backstory behind why we felt the need to get involved and how we were so touched by the situation.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being brave enough to talk to the camera and just explain the whole situation, you know. So I guess like from the top, what exactly is this condition?
Okay, so omphalocele is one of those very rare congenital defects that results from a number of chromosomal defects, they say. Yeah, so it's a condition where the abdominal contents upon outside of the body is supposed to descend at some stage, before birth, and the normal abdominal wall develops and covers them, and then the flattest tummy. But in an omphalocele, that doesn't happen. So a child is born with the abdominal contents encased in a membrane. At times they'll be just lying around, but in her case, they were encased in a membrane, and hers was giant. So that condition also comes with a number of other defects in the body, like the lungs don't mature to the expected level. There's also heart anomalies that come along with that as a result of chromosomal defects. So she may have all sorts of weird heart defects, but in her case there were two holes, one called a PDA, and one called an ASD, which should have closed when she was in utero, but they did not.
So in when does this, in the pregnancy cycle, when do you find out about this? Is it like something very early, or is it later, when close to when the baby is supposed to be born?
So fortunately, where I was monitored, where I was doing my antenatal visits, they do abnormality scan at a certain age, and that was 24 weeks. So that's when they discovered that she had that defect.
Okay.
And yeah, it was further confirmed through other lab tests, like an amniocentesis, where they take the amniotic fluid.
I knew that.
Where they take the amniotic fluid, take it to the lab, and do a profiling for the chromosomes. Yeah, and that's when I was referred to a fetal maternal specialist at Sandton, just to monitor her growth, monitor the defect, Yeah, so I already knew exactly what we're expecting here. And then I also got to meet up with the surgeon, the pediatric surgeon that was going to operate on the defect once the child was born.
As early as 24 weeks?
Yes.
Okay.
Fortunately.
Wow.
How many months is 24 weeks?
Around 6 months.
6 months.
months.
Yeah. But I guess if you are in the public sector where some of those tests are not done, then it's a surprise. You only get to find out at birth.
When the baby's born.
Yeah,
true.
And then from after the baby is born, so you never spent time with your baby? As soon as she's born, she has to stay in the hospital to be taken care of?
Actually, yes, because she was in a neonatal ICU. She had to be on a ventilator from birth. There were so many lines, and she was really struggling and fighting for her life, if I can put it that way. So there was no way I could have, taken her home with, or even carried her, like the normal things that happen once a mother, after birth. So I could only just hold it from that incubator, because of the numerous lines that were in her body.
And how long was she in an incubator for?
So she was at Morningside ICU for 2 months when they were trying to monitor her, but then they realized that her lung pressures, pulmonary pressures, were continuously high because of the defects, and the confusion, let me put it that way. And they felt that it was only proper to refer her to Sunninghill City ICU, where there's the lung specialist, the pulmonologist and the heart surgeons, because she needed those to be done, those operations to be done, as soon as possible.
So she was born last year, which month?
May.
So
she's the 16th. She's 17 months now. Yes, almost 1.5.
Wow. And do other kids that are born with the disease make it to 17 months?
So I asked the surgeon that deals with such babies, and he says most of the times they don't make it past 1 year, especially if they're in the government setting, and because there's a whole lot of complications, a whole lot of things that could possibly go wrong,
Exactly.
and
the
lungs, the heart, vital
Mm.
organs, a risk of infection.
Exactly.
Even if they're in a specialized unit, but chances of making it past a year are very slim.
And it's highly dependent on the medical attention they receive.
Yes, correct.
And you said what surgeries has she already undergone now?
Okay, so the first one that she had at, I think it was at 9 weeks. Yeah, it should have been at 9 weeks. Was a tracheostomy, because she needed to be on long-term ventilation. So she could come home eventually, and she couldn't come home on with those ICU machinery and all. So the first one was a tracheostomy, where they make a hole into the windpipe, and they connect oxygen onto that, and then it's connected to a ventilator, which helps her breathe, and then she could come home with that. And then 2 weeks after that, they had to close the PDA, the one hole in the heart, because there was lots of shunting out of blood, and it was just increasing the pulmonary pressures, even
mixing of blood,
a mixage of blood, So she needed to have that one. I think it was now at 10 weeks. She was now at 10 weeks, 2 weeks after the tracheostomy. Yeah, and then a few weeks down the line. So initially they were dressing her on Phylosil. Because remember, it didn't have the skin as a protective layer.
So you said they were dressing it?
They were dressing it, just to prevent infection. And they were also hoping that eventually that membrane would change. They say granulate into the skin, into the skin. So that did happen with time, but for some reason she also developed infection. You know, so she also had to go for what's the name of the procedure? Debridement. So she had to go for debridement, where they scrape off, you know, that skin that had generated, that's infected, and try and promote a new generation.
So she's been through a lot.
She's been
from 9 weeks.
That was from surgery. 9 weeks. Yes.
So those were the only 3 operations that she's had so far.
Those were the first
the first 3.
And then this year on the 17th of September, they finally decided to close the omphalocele, like to put back the abdominal contents. So they didn't want to do it earlier because she was tiny. And the abdominal cavity was tiny as well. So they feared that if they push back everything, and remember her omphalocele was giant.
It was giant.
So had they pushed everything inside, it would have increased the pressures and further worsened her, you know, the state of her lungs, her breathing system and everything. Actually, they say she would have died had they done it earlier. So that's why they allowed her time to grow, the cavity to widen and deepen. And so it was only done now in September.
2018. And so where is Unami now?
She's still at Sunny Hill City ICU.
Awaiting the next surgery.
Yes. So she's always been on Viagra as one of her chronic drugs. The famous Viagra, for just to help with her, you know, with her breathing and the lungs, and the heart. So the doctor wanted to wean her off Viagra after they closed the abdomen, and then he consulted with the cardiologist just to check if the ASD, the second hole, had improved or was closing. And then that's when they discovered that it had enlarged. It was even bigger than, you know, what they anticipated as she's been growing. So they decided that it's best that they close that, get it out of the equation, and so that's what she's waiting for.
And this surgery, like, that's what you obviously need help with, because it is very expensive.
It is very expensive, and it's a lengthy procedure. So the abdominal one took 4 hours, and the surgeon says the heart one is going to take about 6-7 hours. So obviously it cannot come cheap. Medical aid only pays 100% of their medical aid scheme rates. But obviously this specialist charge up to 500%. So the gap is really huge. That's gonna fall on you.
The medical aid covers 100%. The costs are up to 500%.
Yes.
So do you know estimated what that means? The exact amount?
When I consulted the doctor, he said it would cost about 250,000. So if 250,000 is like 500%, you can calculate how much medical aid covers from that, you know.
50,000. Wow.
200,000.
So the shortfall is 200,000.
Something like that.
So when she gets this surgery, that means she can be off the Viagra. They can now also what is the tract one?
The tracheostomy is already out.
It's already out. And then, so a lot of the other procedures are dependent on this one happening. So you said this is for closing the heart, right?
Yes. So now they want to close the heart. That will also help with her her breathing as well, so there's no mixing of blood, and her oxygenation. She's on oxygen now as well to help her breathing. Yeah. So that will basically improve her quality of life.
Yes. So it's like a make or break surgery.
Yes. Because if she's out of the vent, then it means we are mobile. She's able to, you know, come out of the cot bed, play, learn to crawl, learn to roll, you know, take her out, you know,
be independent.
Because now she's behind with most of her milestones because of that restriction, you know, and it's really, you know, when she's in a ventilator, even when we have to go for her reviews, you need to, you know, involve ER 24, like advanced ER 24, and that's expensive. You know, because you can't just put her in a car seat, take her to you need to monitor, you know, her vitals, you know, and make sure that everything is
is stable.
It's stable. Thank you. So it will help a lot.
Wow, man. Yeah, we are very hopeful because you are so bubbly and so brave. So I'm sure she's the same. And
yeah, I think she's way stronger than me. There were times when you would look at her, you know, and the pain she's going through, the procedures she's going through, and I think I've never gone through all that. I can't even imagine how she feels, you know. And it would just step my heart because you can't take away that pain. You can't be in her position, you know. But she would just brave on, you know. She never cries. You'll think I'm exaggerating, but she hardly cries.
Wow.
You know, when you see her cry, everybody jumps because then it's really something serious. So that's how strong she is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can't wait to meet her.
And then one day she'll be playing with cars.
Can't wait to meet her now.
Wow, man. Thank you for talking to us. And then,
thank you.
Yeah, we can't wait to meet her, and we'll be part of the journey, and we know it will go well.
Yeah, it's only a pleasure, guys, and thank you so much for the platform you've given us. At times you suffer alone, like in a cocoon, because you don't know who to approach. You know, everyone else has their own struggles and challenges, but with assistance like this, you know, it really helps. It makes the way easier.
I feel honored that you're speaking to us. So it's not just one-sided.
Thank you.
Yeah, it definitely is. Thanks.
All right, thank you.
Now I can relax.
We're gonna be out of here soon.
It hasn't been easy.
Me and Mommy at home.
Yesterday I went through my diary. I'm like, I know what those guys are gonna ask. So let me
just. I know you answered very well.
It's been this much.
Yeah.
It made you remember.
You answered very well.
It gets easier with time.
Kylie's gonna come visit. And hang out.
Yes.
And apparently this is when she's in bad spirit.
Exactly.
So imagine when she's in good spirit.
If she's in good spirit, she would have been jumping and clapping hands.
Serious?
Yeah. You know, and smiling and cooing, you know.
Wow.
You'll be fine, Nana, hey? You'll be fine, my angel. Yeah, just hang in there. It's almost over, ne?
Almost over.
Almost over. Are you sleepy?
Yeah, she feels sleepy, I think.
No, right.
Yeah, nice.
It's beautiful, baby. And I'll see you when you're out just now.
That's okay, Nana. We'll see you at home.
At home.
Yeah, I was switch off the internet because my mom was coming to do this thing.
But how can I when I know you're my home, baby? I'm just trying to pull up, kick back,
yeah. Kiss Bunny goodnight.
But every time I pull up, you run back,
Bye, Nami.
Pull up, kick back, But every time I pull up, you run back, corner. Every time I pull up, I skirt in the benzo. Born in the trap, came from the bendo. Baby, you know that I'm willing and able. Give you the key to the safe in the rover. Dry up your tears, put your head on my shoulder. I don't need nobody else in my corner.